Welcome back to a rather grey and dreary morning here in Malta. Anyway, I hope the weather does clear up because the plan today is actually to take a Tuk Tuk ride around Gozo. So currently just waiting outside the hotel, so outside the Corinthia. The pickup is due in about 5 minutes time. It's quite a drive to the other end of the island. We'll catch a boat across to Gozo, and then it's one day of driving around in a Tuk Tuk. So hopefully we'll show that and let you know what a Tuk Tuk in Gozo is like. Hope you can follow me. See you soon. So due to the bad weather, we're not taking a little private shuttle across to Gozo. We're going to take the ferry across. We just had a quite uneventful 45-minute drive along the minibus to get to the ferry port at the top of Malta. When we get on board the ferry, I'll have a quick look around. Okay, so we made it upstairs onto the what they call the sun deck. As you can see, not exactly the sunniest day, but there you go. Okay, so we just got off the ferry and walked out the terminal, and this is our first view of Gozo. Well, so we've been assigned our blue and yellow tuk-tuk. The usual start-up confusion. And we're off. So begins our little tour around Gozo. Okay, for this first stop on our Tuk Tuk mystery tour. I say mystery tour because the guy did actually explain where we're going, but I really just couldn't understand him. So anyway, the first stop is the St John the Baptist Church here. It's got the third largest dome of a church in the world apparently, and despite looking quite old, it was only finished in 1971. They began construction apparently in 1951, so it's not a particularly old church, but right, let's go in and have a look. There we go, it's just the dome. Similar, I suppose, in size to the Pantheon in Rome. So that's the first church stop complete. Apparently there's some 65 churches here on the small island of Gozo. I say small because it's about 4 miles by 9 miles, which I suppose must be about 6 kilometres by 11 kilometres in size. Yeah, just over 60 odd churches. We're not going to see them all, we're just doing the one. That's the first one, St John the Baptist. Right, who knows, next stop, mystery tour coming up. Okay, second point is Senap Cliffs, named after the senap flower apparently, which is a type of wild mushroom. Wild mustard that grows here. So you can see we're quite high, and it's quite a drop. How well you can hear me, but where those people are stood, that's where we're heading next, for the next viewpoint. It's really windy up here, so I'm trying to cuff the mic as much as possible. Well, let's just walk around there. We'll turn around and head that way. Let's make our way down to this edge point and see what it's like. the easiest way getting down here. This way we get the best view of the cliffs. So at this stop we get about 30 minutes. Right, okay. We're pretty close to the edge. We're probably as close as I want to get. Around the cliff you get to see a bit more of the landscape of this island of Gozo. Okay, stop number 3. Oh, so apparently this is where you're going to taste some various liquors and drinks they actually make here on the island. I guess we're now in Souvenir Central. Ah, look at that, they've got the drinks already going.
Alcoholic people. So just take a glass, that's the picnic. We go to the...
As well as wine tasting, there's a whole selection of biscuits and cookies. And these are traditional Maltese honey rings I think they call them. And these honey rings come in all different sizes too. Okay, here's another stop. No idea what this one is, we haven't been told yet, but... Oh, traffic coming. So this used to be the town's laundrette where everyone would bring their clothes. So what you actually see in front of you are the bring it down event. So you actually have the bowls of water, you see the water running in. It needs to capture it into the, you've got like the sinks, and actually put the clothes in. And then the area next to it where that red bucket is, that's obviously a flat plate. And you can scrub the clothes and there's holes in there and all the water will drain away. If you look over to this side you see the holes at the bottom. And there is actually someone in here, well, physically she's not here, she's just walked off, but there has been someone here just washing her clothes. Not many people still do, but it is still a tradition. And here we have stop number 3, was it number 4? Number 4, lunch stop at the Lion's Den. Let's go in and have a look. So that's a rather way. I don't think it's supposed to be a lunch, but they kept bringing wine, so we kept drinking it. That was great. What was food? We started off with chicken fried tomatoes, goat cheese, a few things like that, and then we moved into a Maltese version of lasagna. So it's all jolly good. You keep what is named with weight, and the rosé wine is even better. Anyway, on to another stop now. So I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the tour we're doing is with Yippee Tuk Tours.
But it's not the season yet. The end.
And at the moment it's quite good fun.
June they will start.
We're now over onto the northern side of the island. And this is where the salt flats are. If I just jump up here on this wall, see if I can step up without breaking my neck. Oh, there we go. Bring the camera down. So it's the salt flats where they make sea salt, or extract the salt, shall I say, from the water. And it certainly goes on for quite a way. So we're now walking amongst salt pans. So these are no longer privately owned like the ones we were at earlier, so it's just a public area where you can actually just walk through. So there's another little stop we do on the Tuk Tuk tour if you come. If you do come on the old Tuk Tuk tour with Yippee, to be perfectly honest, it's been quite a good value for money. It was just, what do we pay? Something in the region of just over 60 odd euros. For the day, it's included the ferry crossing, the Tuk Tuk, the lunch. So yeah, I completely recommend it at the moment. Right, let's go and have a look and see what's in these caves. Oh. Doesn't actually go anywhere, so there we go. We won't bother with that one. Let's carry walking around. Okay, next stop is the Church of Miracles. That's what they call it. So it's quite a visited church. The last three popes have been here. Well, the last three popes, starting at Jean Paul and Benedict and the other one, they've all come here to visit. All because of this lady over here that witnessed a miracle. Now, quite what that miracle was, there's all different stories, apparently, so there's no real story behind what the miracle was, apart from she witnessed the miracle, everyone said she did. And so the church got built, or basilica. We know it's a basilica because of the 3 lines through the cross at the top. That denotes it as being a basilica, apparently. So let's go inside and have a look. This is apparently the most holy church within Malta. And the only church within Malta and Gozo where pilgrims would come to as part of a pilgrimage. So this basilica was actually all quarried locally. I'm just over to the stop of the day, the citadel here in Gozo. It's possibly the highest point of the island. We're going to wander in here, have a look, and work our way in. A certainly impressive entrance as you walk in. Alright, so we'll walk around, see what we can find in here. Okay, we're starting to work our way up Citadel. To be honest, if you're under 5 foot tall, you don't really get much of a view. The wall's quite high. But the basilica with the red dome in front of me is the Basilica of St. George. What's a basilica? Somewhere the Pope has visited, somewhere the Pope has called a basilica, or somewhere that has a saint buried within it. There we go, found that one out earlier today. And what miracle did we find out at the last church? I said I'd find it out. Apparently the lady heard the voice of God tell her the place was holy, so she began to pray, and her son's arm was healed from paralysis. There we go, back in 1880s. Right, let's carry on. It's quite windy up here. So we're almost at the top. Just keep coming up the stairs. So another half dozen stairs, and I think we'll be at the highest point. Okay, there's no more stairs up. So I think it's safe to say this is as high as we can go. So I do admit, if you probably come here in the summer, you may get a better view. I think it's all a bit cloudy, a bit overcast, a bit grey. So you're probably not seeing as far as what you could do on a bright sunny day. It almost looks as if it's as if there's sand in the air or something, but yeah, the distance you can see is not particularly far at all. Just walk to the end of here and see if we can see any more. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the wall, really. We've walked all the way around. And as you can see, you can't actually get any further. Go find our driver again in the main square. He'll be taking us back to the ferry port to catch the ferry back across. Where it's so windy, the small boats aren't running, so we've got to catch the commercial ferry. But yeah, Yippee Tours, Tuk Tuk Tours. Great day out, thoroughly recommend it. And finally, we come to the square, Malta Square, I think it was called, in the town centre. Where we meet our little Tuk Tuk to get our ride home. B, just to waste 15 minutes while waiting for our driver to come back before taking us back to the ferry. I think we might have a little wander up some of these alleyways and see what there are. The lane has brought us to, I think it's going to be a basilica soon. I think you've seen inside enough churches, so I won't bother going inside this one today. So I'll just turn around and show the little square we're in. Cool, cute little square. I imagine it's absolutely round during the summer months. So it's a bit of an unexpected turn up for the books. Unfortunately, we're having to walk to the ferry, but what's really more unfortunate is apparently there's been an accident at sea. 18 divers have got into trouble in the rough seas, and apparently, sadly, one of them has died, we hear. So, because that, the ferries have stopped running. Not sure how the ferries are involved or why, but it means we have to find an alternative way back from Gozo to Malta. So, obviously, thoughts with the people that are involved in the incident at sea. But yeah, so for us, it means we're having to walk to the ferry port. And then we'll be catching an alternative boat back. So we've gone from travelling on a ferry to travelling on a small boat. Well, goodbye Gozo, it's been nice knowing you. Okay, so what you obviously can't see, because it's a gimbal, is how much we are bouncing up and down. But we are bouncing up and down quite a lot. So here we have the Blue Lagoon. And it's amazing, looking at this on screen, it does look a real turquoise blue. It's more of a seaweedy green in real life.